no cracks or anything. Distracted with screw technology.
When you go live, I'll come in here and watch you. This is normally 40, but look up.
Gotta get my other glasses.
If you buy online, then you just pack it up. Free shipping, and then usually you just pay sales tax. While they're doing the down payment is different. I guess what they're trying to do is lower the monthly payments. So they're lower, they're $10 or $12 lower because you're paying half of it up front.
Yeah, I understand that.
Still, it's paying it up.
Oh no, either way, you're gonna pay the same amount. So,
I'll be there in just a moment.
What's up, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me okay here. I got the lapel mic plugged in, so just give me a thumbs up right there in the comments. That will be great. It's like we're approaching the 7 o'clock hour, 1900 here on the East Coast. See a thumbs up right there. Looks like we got some folks in here from some other countries. Brazil, Australia, Idaho. Sounds good. All right, thanks, Andy. Good to see everybody there this evening. Hope everybody's doing good. Big mess in the house. Big mess in the house. Man, thank y'all for joining up, letting my house come to your house here this evening. We're about 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, surprisingly. Don't even know what day. I know it's a Sunday. I don't know the date of the month yet.
25th.
What is the day?
Today's the
15.
Today's the 15th. How many days in this month?
30th.
So we're halfway through the month, as I'm being told, man. So sounds great. Excellent. It's hard to believe. Not too terribly far away from the holiday season, of course. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing here for you folks this evening is I'm going to attempt to tie at least 6 nymphs for you folks there. These are bugs that I actually guide with quite a bit. And some of these are available there at the shop. Some of these, obviously, I kind of keep for myself or someone else there. So they're real simple. These are flies that you can tie up pretty quickly. The first couple ones got a little bit more detail on them than the other ones, but I like to keep a lot of my guide stuff pretty simple and quick. And that's where obviously the Nor-vise comes in. Just want to remind everyone, for every 50 shares, you have a chance to get a net gator and some stripping guards. If you folks have not seen the Nor-vise buff net gator, the thing I like about it, it's a little bit bigger, so it's not quite as restrictive. It's a good color, so if you're on the water, you're not, you're not out there in a salmon pink and those coral colors, so you're not really spooking those fish as well. And the stripping guards are pretty sweet, man. So if you've got a textured line, getting those on your fingers is going to help you, tremendously. So that is pretty nice to have there too. Surprisingly, they are allowing me to make a huge announcement, which blows my mind when I let a guy like me. But there is going to be a brand new product reveal. You hear me once again, a brand new Nor-vise product reveal Thanksgiving Day. I have no clue what it is. I mean, how do you improve something that does this, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to improve on that. So who knows? Maybe it's got like a sewing machine pedal. Maybe it'll like spin it up for you. I don't know. But it will be available on Thanksgiving Day. So when they do that release on Thanksgiving Day, it will be available for purchase as well. I have no clue what it is. I'm like you folks. I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. We'll see what the O'Neills have in store for us, and as they keep that Normlanders legacy going. So with that being said, we're going to hop into our first pattern. The first pattern I have here today is basically a jigged pheasant tail flashback. This is actually an Mop Fly, but I'm going to tie one of these up here for you folks right quick. The hook I'm using here is just basically just a basic jigged hook. I think this is a size 12 or a 10, and I have a fauceted copper bead on here. I'm just going to grab my thread here right quick, get that started on the hook, real simple. I'm just going to start spinning this bad boy here to the back. Just very basic stuff. Next material is going to be our pheasant tail. Some, just pheasant tail, just those birds. They ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to pull off some of those fibers from that there. And if you folks have any questions or whatever, just type them in right there. I am looking at a monitor as well as trying to tie, so just bear with me. I want to kind of get that laid in on the side there right quick. At this point here, I want to start to adjust my tail length just a little bit. So that looks good to me right there. And my next material is going to be some copper wire. Yeah, man, new product just in time for Christmas. No doubt about that. It is a holiday season. Maybe a little bit different this year shopping-wise, and that's okay. Maybe we can get back to the basics, understanding it's not about what you get. Maybe it's about being with family and things like that, of course, that we often forget about a whole lot there. So I want to put me a half hitch in right there. And the next thing I want to do is I want to grab my pheasant tail, and I'm just going to start wrapping this up the hook. Real simple here, using that rotating feature of the Norvise. Keeps a lot of fatigue off your arm. I want to capture, boom, boom, boom. That looks pretty good. I want to reach in with my Dr. Slick scissors, and I want to cut that off. Put me in a half hitch. Good deal. Everybody's still doing well out there. We got about 86 or so far, so make sure that you share this. Have a chance to win some goodies. So what I did right there is I counter wrapped my wire just to reinforce that pheasant tail, of course, and now I'm going to helicopter off that wire. Save that piece. There's enough there to tie another fly or two out of it. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to grab our next material, which will be some Flashabou. It's just your basic Flashabou right there. So right there we go on that, and we're going to do that. And here's the hardest part of this fly, in my opinion, is because it's jigged in the pattern, they actually tied on the underside. Why aren't there Nor-vise scissors yet? Oh man, I don't know. You'll have to ask the guys, man. They're machinists. They make all those dreams come true, man. All the engineers come up with the ideas and a lot of things like that, and then the machinist, according to Tim, and when he was on our podcast there at the shop, the Tutcast of the Splash of Bourbon, he kind of went into talking about how everything is made. So that's the guys to talk to right there. So I've got that flash tied in there momentarily. I'm going to take one of the hair clips and I'm going to hold it like that. And now I'm going to turn this over here. I'm going to run my thread back, put a half hitch in it, like so. Let's see there. That might be the new reveal from Sean. Central Florida's in the house. Hope y'all are doing okay down there. All right, so I'm going to grab a few pieces of Peacock Curl, and this is going to be my Thorax. So if you folks can see that right there, we got some Peacock. All this will go up on the YouTube channel, the Nor-vise YouTube channel. Miss Miller will have a materials list for you folks there as well. So if you want to tie up some of these, and I certainly encourage you to do so. Also, be sure to go to the Nor-vise YouTube channel for all the live videos and other fly tying videos for some of the ambassadors and things like that. And it's a good source of information. What's up there, Mike from Delaware, Reno, Nevada? What's up, Ryan? So I made my peacock chenille right there, so I'm just going to run this bad boy up right in here, just like that. I'm going to leave me a little bit of space because I do have to do a CDC collar on this here momentarily. So I'm just going to capture that there right quick. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, Muncie Designs? How you doing? So I'm just going to half hitch, and then I want to bring this over here. What's up, Charles? Project Tilling Waters in Johnsonville, Tennessee. I saw Ken McLean on there a little bit earlier. Edward, I am tying a Pheasant Tail jig, kind of little CDC right there. Yeah. So now I'm going to pull over the Flashabou material here. I'm just going to capture that behind a few times and then kind of come in front, grab it, and take my Dr. Slick scissors and get that out of the way. And need about 10 more of these, and lots of rookie mistakes, man. Hey, brother, it happens. I was out guiding some nice folks from the Charlotte area yesterday, and let's just say they caught a few squirrels, man, I tell you. So it happens to everybody, regardless of skill sets and things like that. So basically what we've got, we're just about through with this bad boy right here. And it say Euro style, absolutely. The thing about Euro, which I think is some confusion, is that you don't have to have a Euro rod to do this. You got to realize that a lot of folks were tight line nymphing a long time ago into fast waters and stuff, and you know, now we've got these fancy rods and these specific leaders and things like that that really kind of help out more than anything else. So yeah, to see there, monkeys don't eat flies, dude, man. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Somebody said their vacation was cut short because of the tropical storm.
Yeah, I kind of saw that your vacation was cut a little short there because of the tropical storm. We were supposed to get some flooding out of that, and that storm cut across, I think, the panhandle of Florida and went basically a little bit south and east of us here in the mountains, but it did kind of hit from Asheville east quite a bit. So we were actually able to get back out on the water this weekend. And actually, some places like Thursday and Friday here was excellent. So we fared out pretty good. But certainly our thoughts go out to those people there, Lake Charles, places like that. It's really been hammered this year, no doubt about it. And well, is that Miss Big Mess in the background? It is. And there's Big Mess Jr. over there in the other part too, man. So got the family here. So our next material is going to be some Nature Spirit Cdc from the folks out there, Thomas Lampier and stuff. We got some of that there at the shop. And I'm going to use this CDC, the Swiss CDC clamp here. And I'm just going to reach in here and I'm going to grab some of these CDC fibers, just like so. Hope you folks can see that. Sometimes I do use the magic eraser, and I am here in a little bit on the fly we're going to tie. So I'm going to reach in here and just kind of cut away the stem momentarily, which is going to leave this here for me, just like that. And now I'm going to get my dubbing spinner. And this is the one I like to use here for sure. So everybody likes to use something different. This is the one I like to use. I like that it's short to start with. And I like the weight of it too. So I want to take this CDC, and typically I can do this pretty much 88 out the gate. Let's see if I can do this evening without this screwing up on me. Perfect. So I've got it captured. I'm going to start spinning this up. What's up going on in Calgary, Canada there? Y'all did a great job with the NHL hockey season this year, man. I appreciate you guys up there north of the border. So now I'm just going to start wrapping this little CDC collar. Then I'm just going to stroke these fibers back just like so. As far as the colors, you can use black, you can use brown. That's where you are the creative genius right here. As Bob Ross would say, there's no mistakes. We just have happy accidents or whatever it is there, and this is your canvas. I'm going to reach in here. I'm going to snip that off. I want to prepare my dubbing loop spinner for the next fly. I want to come right here right quick. I'm just going to do a series of whip finishes, and by gollies, we have almost got a finished fly right there. Go Canes! I tell you, that's right, man. We'll see what they do for the hockey season this year, but I think they was a model for most leagues out there, for sure. So I want to pull this CDC fibers forward, which is going to allow me to kind of come in here with my fingers and just kind of trim that off to the size that I want it. And then there we go. Nice thing about this fly, man, you know, Pheasant Tail works. You can tie this in sizes anything from a 10 down to an 18. I was trying to use yesterday some 18s. I thought that the smaller stuff with some real thin tippet would be the thing that we need to use with all the pressure that they were getting, but surprisingly they wanted something with a lot more motion. And we're going to kind of get to that category at the end of this event here. So right there we have basically just a jigged Pheasant Tail with a little CDC on it right there. We like that CDC there. Chelsea, man, thanks for coming in. What is CDC? CDC is this nice little feather that comes off of the duck. You can use it on dry flies. You can make dry flies exclusively out of this here. You can use it on nymphs in the place maybe of some soft tackle type materials. So there's the CDC material on that right there, D. Hope that answers your question. And there's a lot of different quality of CDC on the market. So when you're looking at CDC to tie with, make sure that you're getting a feather that's going to tie what you want to tie. That's obviously the key, is getting something you can use. All right, so there's the fly number 1 out of the way. The next fly that we're going to tie, I'm actually going to be tying this on a size 10 jigged hook here too. It's going to have a silver bead, and just so you understand kind of what I'm doing here. You can see right there, Ben kind of come in there with duck butt. Yes, it is around that, and there's that gland in there that really keeps them dry right there. So, yeah, Sean, it is a great fly, no doubt about it. But here in Western North Carolina, for whatever reason, silver beads work really well. And probably our fly bins on the nymph side of things, you'll see that silver is key. I think Tim and Braden Miller can really contest how effective silver beaded nymphs are here in the area, as they were here for the Nor-vise demo days, which was great. And for the folks that came by the shop, we really appreciated that too. That was a great time. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my thread started here on the hook, and I've already preloaded the bead onto the hook with a little bit of wire in behind it. Not much. You know, I like to vary the weights of these things just a smidge. So my box is set up really based upon weights with these things right here. So that's what I like to do. So this fly we call the IDK, and this here is basically one of the original IDKs. It's a real buggy fly. This is my number 1 go-to guide fly, hands down. Numero uno. And I'm going to kind of tie it the original way, but I do use some flexi floss for the tail and the legs. On this here, I like to use some white. I like to use brown. I also tie this in kind of olive. I tie it in black as well. And I also tie it in a brown alpaca fur. That's it. We'll not forget the duck butt. So now we're off on the duck butt thing. So here we go, man. That's pretty cool. So duck butt. So here we go. We're on the duck butt thing. I guess he's duck fat and he's duck butt. We learned something, didn't we, guys?
Yep.
Yeah. My wife's like, yep. There we go. So cool. So don't forget to share the video. Let's get this bad boy shared. Let's get some winter chicken dinners out there. Not no duck dinners, and we'll be okay.
Someone wants to know if they can use that in the Northwest Georgia stream.
I'm sure they can. That's a fly you probably can use pretty much anywhere in the world. Just vary the sizes on that, and you'll probably be in excellent shape right there. So I'm going to fold this over to try to get the size of my my tails right there. Now, real simple. The next thing I want to tie in here is some French oval tinsel, and this is a material is kind of what I did to start with using on it, and that's what I've always stuck with. I tie this sometimes with a red bead, which we'll use here at the end in a minute on a particular pattern. I do it, and then I use red wire on that one, of course, just to kind of match it up. So here we go. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch in back here, and I'm going to take my tinsel. I'm going to put this into my little material clip. So we got 26 shares so far, folks. Let's try to get up there to 50-50. Come on now. Let's get this bad boy going.
What size hooks?
I vary these anything here really from a 10 down to, on this particular fly, down to about a 12 on this one here. On the first one, you can go there, like I said, all the way down to an 18 on that there. So that's what I do. So what I've done is I've got a Hares mask, and I actually really like pulling my own hair off the mask itself. And I've already pulled some off here. So I'm going to take the spinning feature of my Nor-vise, and I'm just going to start getting that spun onto my thread there, just like that. And this is going to allow that to be kind of spiky and stuff in through there. It does not have to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, okay? It's amazing how you can do that. I can only tie crappy jigs. Little Mesh Jr. in the house. Big Mesh Jr. in the house commenting. So there we go. Yes, he does tie crappy jigs on here. He had to get in on the show. So his name is Braden too. So
I had to do something.
he said he had to do something. So there we go. We got real big and buggy, kind of like you know, Sir Mix-a-Lot would say. You know, we'll leave it at that. So I want to pick out some of those loose fibers. What's up, Chris? Man, appreciate you sharing right there. And now I'm going to kind of come in and counter rib this tinsel up to the front here, just like that. So right off the bat, that there by itself looks really buggy and looks like something that a fish would eat, and it certainly will. What's up, Mickey? Lynchburg. Man, that's up there. That's where Liberty is. Liberty. Man, your football team's rocking this year. We actually had a family member graduate Liberty University a few years ago there. So, yeah. Kaylee, yeah. Ha, Little Big Mess is awesome. Well, y'all just don't know, man. I tell you, that's a matter of opinion there on that one there, Norvise. But anyway, we've got 162 views, man. We're rocking. Hope everything's going good. So you see what I did is I counter wrapped that up through there. I gave some segmentation. Nova Scotia. That's all right. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to once again make me a dubbing loop. Going to get that locked in there and closed up. And there's going to be a lot of magic happening right here at the head of this fly. Okay. I'm going to put in a half hitch. Yep. Yeah. All right. We're back. We got kicked off for a minute, but I think we're back. Because of internet. So we are doing it from our home, and we have updated our internet here. Thank goodness, or I wouldn't be doing this at all. Yeah, Lynchburg is, I don't think it's too far from Roanoke and Buchanan, Virginia as well, if I'm not mistaken there. So I'm going to come in here now, and I'm going to pull off some of these guard fibers. I like them spiky ones on here. I just like the way it looks. Everybody with me there? Did I lose anybody? Not really. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think the internet kind of whacked on us. So that's the mountains of North Carolina for you. So anyway, so I've got this here. I want to clean out some of this right here. Okay. Now I'm going to put some of this here in our dubbing loop per se, just like this. And now here's where the magic. Now all right. Looks like we're back. I hope. There we go. So what I did is I did that little dubbing loop right there, and I'm just going to put in a few whip finishes right there. Casey's like, "Don't panic, I'll be back." I'm back. I promise I'm back. This doesn't matter if we're here, we're in the shop. We have the same thing happen to us there at the shop too. Speaking of which, man, just don't remind you folks, on Thanksgiving Day, less than 2 weeks away, there's going to be a big product announcement coming out right there, and whatever the new product is, it will be available for purchase that day. So be looking for that particular. Okay.
Now it says.
All right. So sorry about that, folks, right there. So what I've done is I tied in the legs. I want to take a little bit of my UV resin right here, which I'm going to be using some bone dry on this right here. So here we go on that. There. Just going to come in here like this. Someone asked a question, can you fish this underneath a dry fly? You can find these videos. I've given these videos to Tim. They have access to those, and you can also see those there on our YouTube channel.
There's a lot of high wind in West Virginia and power outages. And
Okay. See that. Hope that's okay. get back over here and get refocused, folks. Apologize about that, about the internet. We are trying to get you guys up and going here. I apologize tremendously, but we are, looks like we're back. Hopefully we'll stay back. So what I've done is I've taken a black, this is basically a makeup brush right here. You can see black with the purple tips on it. And makeup brushes make really good tails for dry flies and nymphs both. The next material I'm going to tie in is going to be some, once again, some oval tinsel. Yes. So we're going to do this right here. We're going to get it tied in here on the side. This is going to be our rib. Going to kind of get that laid in there like so. Lay me down a good thread base. Come in here like this. Wham, wham, wham. Just like so. Okay, put in another half hitch. All right. What's up, Travis? Next material I want to tie in is going to be some Peacock Curl for the body. This is a pattern similar to something that I think Tim or Tyler fished when they were here back in October. Obviously we have a lot of case caddis on the rocks right now, a lot of caddis bugs, nymphs, and this did a really good job of representing that. I know Miss Miller got a picture of a rock that had a lot of these on there, so here we go. So I'm going to come in here like so. Once again, I want to get, oops, got a little funky monkey. There we go. Just kind of go ahead and start making this chenille body for this right here, just like that. There we go. All right. Now I'm just going to slowly kind of walk this up, get it past the hook barb point. There we go. 1, 2, 3, front, back. I'm just going to reach in with my scissors, which really never leave my hand. Put in a half hitch, and I'm going to come in here and just counter rib this up right quick, just like that. It's pretty fast. All right. Get that captured just like so. Once again, make sure you share the video there. Have a chance to win some prizes there for Norvise. Got to get that Norvise buff and those stripping guards. If you're out there throwing some streamers and stuff like Braden likes to do, having those stripping guards can really, really save those fingers for sure. So now we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to get another piece of CDC. I'm going to use black on this here again, and get me a good black CDC feather right here, which I have. And I'm also going to use some ice dove, and this is nothing that I came up with, but I'm actually going to use a magic eraser for this right here. You see I've got slots in it right there, and I'm going to lay me down some of this purple. It's purple UV ice dub, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to combine the CDC here with the ice dub for the collar on this here. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to take this CDC feather, I'm just going to put it in here in one of the slots with the ice dub. That way I can pick it up with the magic clip in there. So I'm getting a little technical on this one here. So I get in here and get a mess like this here, so you folks can see, just like that. And I want to come in here and get my magic clip, and I want to grab all these materials. Basically, you get a convoluted mess just like this here pretty much. I'm going to take my scissors, going to trim out that stem, just like so. Now, I want to come in here, get my dubbing spinner tool once again, just like this. Got to open that loop back up. It closed up on me a little bit. Yeah. Going to come in here just like so, and I'm going to try to capture these feathers in here. Whammo, just like that. Now I'm just going to hold this tight, and I'm going to spin it. Let the magic happen. Okay, just like that. Whammo, whammo, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Spin that up there pretty tight. Got that right there. Whammo, just like this. So it's going to give it a good look. I'm going to comb this out here momentarily anyway. Now this right here would be something I would just kind of use as an anchor fly. Get down there deep. for anything that's really small, if I get down to the 16s and 18s on this, I really limit the body materials on this. I don't do much with the collar at all. I just go maybe with a little hot spot, you know, on there, just to give us a little hot spot at one end. And sometimes I'll actually come in at the tail section and I'll use a little bit of flexi floss in the brown, and that's about it. That does a pretty good job too. And sometimes you can tell those trout what they've been eating. You can see their the front of their faces are really skinned up there. So I'm just going to take some Velcro and just really work that out there a little bit. You know, Velcro, not a whole lot of money spent here on that, of course. So there we go. You see how it kind of works that collar out right there. So you got a little CDC, a little bit of ice dub in there, and you got your really good anchor fly. And these things kill it as droppers. Yeah, they do actually, Travis. And the thing is, it's real simple to tie too, man. Peacock is a great material just because of all the iridescence that's in it. It just works, you know. I think you have to look at Peacock and Pheasant Tail and, you know, turkey feathers as some of those natural things out there that just work exceptionally well. So right there you go. Like I said, if you tie it smaller, if you get down in some of those 16s and stuff, really limit the collar and just make it look like a little cased bug right there, and that thing will be doing. Keith said he's going to tie some of these up in 20s to 26s. Have at it, brother. I hope you do well with that right there. So you the man. I'd like to see some pictures of some of those right there. Looks like my camera got a little wonky on me there when I moved it there just a second. So let me kind of get that dial back in for you right there. Perfect. Hope that still looks good there for you. Whammo, apologize, I had to reset that for the internet. So I am actually going to switch thread colors now. I'm going to go with some red, and I'm going to grab my other bobbin. Travis, waist bag is handy as all get out. You know, honestly, the waist basket is probably the most underappreciated tool that you can have at your tying bench. It by far is the most underappreciated. But I gotta tell you, the Norvise one is hands down the best. And I will tell you, if you don't have one of the granite bases or the Magnum hubs, certainly you want to get in on that thing right there. That will really help you guys out tremendously. The mass and the way it spins is really, really good. So good deal. So the next fly we're going to tie is a real basic fly, real simple. It's going to be the Rainbow Warrior. I'm going to tie it traditional for you folks, which is the Pheasant Tail here, the Flashabou for your body. And I am not going to put a wing case on it. I just think it's kind of pointless. That I am going to spin the dubbing onto this here, which is the Rainbow Dub. I like to fish these here basically in 14s down to 18s. And most of the time I'm using at least a 16. One of the things there, I think Braden would... is one of those things right there where Braden can contest when he was up here fishing with me that we did really good, with these things here for sure. You think you're saying there's no sound? Is that it?
So Chris says you've sold him on a vise. Throw him a link to order.
Yep. So you can contact us there at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. You can give me a call, 1-828-488-3333 there at the shop, and I can get you squared away on that there as well. Or you can go to nor-vise.com also. So I've got us down our red body as I was talking. I really wasn't spinning it on there, so I apologize right there on that. But anyway, for the tail, I'm going to use what Lance Egan used, which was Pheasant Tail. And this was actually a fly he used when he was fishing here in the 2010 Fly Fishing Championships that we held here in our area along the Tuckasegee River and the Upper Nantahala and places like that as well. I'm just going to do a few thread wraps on there, and I'm going to draw the tail up into place where I want it right there. And yes, these are the standard jaws. I do have the fine point jaws. They're right here actually holding up my little background so I can see a little bit better. But yes, it is the standard. I use the standard jaws quite a bit, and I can tie really small things with it. I use the fine point when I'm maybe doing a little bit more detail on some of the dry flies, maybe a little bit smaller dry flies like that. But most of the time I use the standard draws. And if you watch Braden tie a lot of his articulated streamer shanks, he uses the fine point jaws. Hey, what's up, Zach? Man, I appreciate you coming up to the demo day there, man. You and your significant other right there. Appreciate you doing that. It was a great day at the shop. And it was a good day. It was Tim's birthday, my birthday. We had wine cake from Miss Miller there, so it worked out nice. And it was just a good weekend. So I'm just going to spin that up, secure the pheasant tail down, and now I'm going to get my Flashabou. Make sure it hasn't fallen into the floor yet. So our body's going to be the Flashabou, as you can see in here. And I'm just going to trim it at an angle. I like to trim it at an angle. Certainly do what you want to do, but I like to trim that at an angle. Hopefully you folks can see that. And if you notice, I actually did not put any weight up here. I want this bead to be loose up here for a second. You're going to see kind of what I mean. So I'm going to kind of traditionally wrap that in right quick. I'm going to get my hair clip, get that out of the way just like so. Found the sound button. Okay, well, cool, man. Yeah, wine cake, James. I have no clue. It was great. It kind of reminded me of a rum cake as far as the moisture content of the cake, but it was really good. My wife makes a really, really good rum cake. And but Miss Miller brought in the wine cake that we had there kind of after we shut down before they had to hit the road to head back home. They couldn't stick around for dinner that evening. Come to find out, they kind of had a surprise party for sure afterwards, which was great. So now I'm going to grab the Flashabou and I'm just going to rotate that up the shank just like that. If I wasn't here killing time on this fly, I mean, I can bust these things out really quick. There at the shop, we sell these in 16s all day long. I mean, I can take these things in dozens and dozens at a time. So these things here go pretty fast. They work really well. This and a tungsten surveyor is real easy to tie, and it works really good. So see, we got 135 there. So Michael Terry says he's not watched me tie before. Man, I tell you, man, I appreciate it. If you want to, go to our YouTube channel there, Nor-vise on YouTube. Or if you go to Tuckasegee Fly Shop on YouTube, you can watch our fly tying videos. Also, be sure to check out our podcast. I'm going to throw a plug in there, Tim. The Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon. And if you would go subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on our candy bar, our candy bar shootout that we're doing right now, you have a chance to win a Sims Freestone backpack that we're giving away at the shop. Yeah, Zach, you used this up on Deep Creek and done well for sure. It's amazing at how well this fly does. It totally will blow your mind. It is amazing what this will do, and also the tungsten surveyor. So the tungsten surveyor is basically this right here, man, with this, a silver bead, man. You just rough that rascal up, man, and it's 88 out the gate. It'll just catch fish all day long. Those are some of my go-to flies. So see, I'm just going to spin that up right quick there on my Nor-vise. I bet your static vise can't do that. So yeah, absolutely. And now I'm just going to come right here. And I'm just going to, what I did is I took my tensioner knob here and I just tightened it up. And now I'm just going to come in here with my red thread. I do give it a counterclockwise twist right quick. I'm going to come in here and put a couple of whip finishes on it. Just like so. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Just there you go. Now if you want more of a pronounced red thread collar on there, that's up to you, okay? I like mine a little bit spikier. I don't do these for the shop bins, but for the ones that go in my box, I'll rough that up just a little bit like that. And that's the way I like them. If you haven't done that like that before, maybe give that a try and see how that works for you. But I like to have those kind of roughed up on mine for sure. So any questions on the Rainbow Warrior? It's a great fishing fly. I've seen these things tied on curved hooks. I've seen them tied with rainbow colored beads on there. And I want you folks to know all these beads that I'm using are slotted tungsten beads. They're fulling mill and hammocks on that. So you can do it. Oh, Travis, on these things right here, man, I can do more than a dozen an hour. I get my headset on and get a little bit of you know, a nice little beverage going, and you can bust these things out. So the more you tie on your Nor-vise, you know, the better you get.
John says that he's really enjoying tonight's session. Great stuff.
Appreciate it, John, man. Appreciate you folks hanging with me, man. We had a little bit of internet issue there. I apologize. So, man, we were all novices, Travis. We there's so much to learn. I watch, you know, Braden. I watch, you know, Muncie from Muncie Designs. I watch Brian and Britt Davenport. There's a lot of great tires out there that just totally blow my mind with what they're able to do. So great fly on the Bighorn River. I'm sure it's amazing. It just works. It just works. So you know, it's just one of those magical flies. They're easy to tie. You should have them in your bench, in your box rather, and keep them with you. All right. What time is it?
7:44.
7:44. I got a couple more here for us. This fly right here is my twist on the famous Mop Fly. A little history about the Mop Fly. The Mop Fly actually came from this area. It came from Jim Estes, who lives down in Swain County, and he came up with this fly pattern here for the to represent some crane fly larvae inside the national park. Jim submitted this, and they said, no, we can't mass produce it, and then that company came out with it on their own. So that little bad taste in the mouth about that, but this is definitely a fly that you see a lot of those folks that are competition fishing will do. Many different ways to tie these, and honestly, I could do a whole episode on mop flies, the different ways to use mop patterns for different nymphs that I like to use them for. But I want to put a little bit of twist on this here. One thing I will tell you is that if you use a lighter, you can actually burn these here and you can bring them down to a point. I'm not going to do that for you today, but it is something that can be done. On this one here, we are going to use a dubbing loop here once again. And I think you'll kind of see that effect that I'm trying to achieve out of this fly. So I want to stick my hook in here. I like to tie these on 10s. Most of the time, I just like the size of the gape of the hook that I'm looking for. I'm going to get my thread started there right quick. And all you got to do on these folks is match up the bead color that works great in your area. I mean, that's the beauty of fly tying, right? You learn techniques, you learn how to do things, and that's the whole idea behind it. So the mop material that I'm using today is actually, oh, here it is. This is actually a Rain-X ball, and this is that kind of that cream color. Yeah, that is a brass bead on here, David, but it is tungsten. But you kind of see that ball right here, like that right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to strip these fibers on here, and I'm going to expose this. See those 4 fibers right there that basically look like legs, and just like that. Doesn't it look like a cool set of legs? But we're going to do this right here. So I'm going to take, so I don't want these to come apart, I'm going to lie this in on the side. I'm going to capture these, and I'm going to make some loose wraps up to the front like this. You see to the point I'm at, right? You folks see that okay? Now I'm going to pull those back, and I'm going to wrap over top of those. It would be like if you were tying in some an articulated fly, and you're going up to that next shank or whatever, and you're using wire or whatever you're using. This is pretty much it. Basically the same way, okay? So when I come in there like that, I'm really going to lock that down. So make sure you folks are sharing this right here. I'm not for sure knowing how many shares we have. We did lose connection there, and I apologize for that, but hopefully it's sharing out pretty good. And I don't know, I'm kind of wondering what that new product's going to be introduced there on Thanksgiving Day that will be available.
David also said he's going to have to rewatch because Big Mess was talking too fast about the backpack.
I was talking too fast. On the backpack, we actually, I'm going to plug it again, Tim, so don't shoot me. There on our podcast, somehow it came up that Bobby decided we needed to have a candy bar shootout to decide which is the best candy bar to have out there while you're fishing. So we've actually had 16 candy bars. We got through round 1 the other day, and you can watch that on the Tuck Cast with a Splash of Bourbon. And if you go to the Tuckasegee Fly Shop YouTube channel, you can watch it, you can comment, and if you subscribe, you're entered into a chance to win a Sims Freestone Ambidextrous Sling Pack. Not amphibious. That's only the people that play at NC State, that play basketball, that shoot right-handed and left-handed. That's what he said. The coach told him he was amphibious. So the next material I'm going to use is Ice Dub in the golden brown. That is the truth, man. That was when Coach Valvano was there. So Butterfinger, David, man, I'm a huge fan of Butterfingers. I like the Butterfinger bites, and I like them cold out of the refrigerator. We actually we sampled 8 candy bars the other day. And it was big mess. Junior back here is laughing. I don't know why that's such a funny thing.
That's the Snickers.
And
Next comment.
so Snickers. James Hill likes the Snickers.
No.
No?
Before that, you can't see it now. Norvise says if Snickers does not win, he demands a recount.
You demand a recount?
I agree.
Does that mean we have to eat them all again? Is that what you're saying? So Bobby went out and bought 16 candy bars. Just candy bars we had in our area. Paydays all day. That's how this started, because Fred and them always brought paydays with them to eat on the trip. So that's how this whole thing. 0 bars, I'm not a fan of a 0 there, David. So 3 Musketeers. I like 3 Musketeers. So I said, to do this fairly, we wrote down the names of the candy bars, and we put them in a hat, and it was just a random draw as far as pairings to match up. So we'll get on to the next 8 this week and get that posted so you folks can see that, as well as watching this Fly Time event here for sure. So what I'm doing is here, I'm going to take this ice brown dub, and I'm going to Twix. And Twix actually advanced to the next round, if I'm not mistaken. So I think Twix advanced in there. So I'm just going to put this gum of a mess in here, and this is where it does not have to be perfect, okay? All right, my wife is loud. Whatchamacallit lost. We did have the whatchamacallit in there. Lyle the Fly, yeah.
Curtis is new to the channel.
All right, welcome,
Then you've
Curtis.
got Twix, and James says Butterfinger stick in your teeth.
Maybe sometimes. Man, I tell you, this is really taking off. So what I did is I took him with my dubbing loop and almost made like a dubbing brush, if you want to call it that. So now with my rotary feature, and I have my tension knot down to where it's not free spinning. And I'm just taking my finger here on the little knob, and I'm just going to spin it up like so. I'm going to get up to the front. When you do a lot of these, you kind of know how much dubbing you need to put in there to make it work properly. So truth in there, all right. So I'm just going to capture that a few times in there, and we'll get this locked down. And then I'm going to reach in with my Dr. Slick scissors, and we've got that one there done. Snickers, nah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting how this bad boy goes down. Now I'm going to do a couple of wet finishes in here, just like this. Maybe we'll do 3 for giggles, since everybody's giggling here this evening. We'll do that. Cool.
Travis wants to know why the loop instead of a dubbing on the working thread.
The reason why I do that is I want to be able to take my Velcro, and I want to be able to rough this up just like this. And it's probably a bit overkill, but like you can do this here with it, and I can get those longer fibers that kind of just swoop back like that, and it's more durable than just spinning that on. I don't personally feel like you're not going to get these long fibers to really stick in there when you rake them out like this. So it gives you that really cool effect on it right there. And that's just personal preference. And you're in control because you are the artist here at the canvas. This is your canvas, which happens to be a hook. And that's why we're doing this right here. Doesn't look sectioned yet. It's not necessarily supposed to. I like to really do this on the chartreuse one right there for sure with the chartreuse bead. It's been working really well for us. But once again, not talking, I can really spin this up here really quick right there. So Rick's kind of lost his video feed. So now we're going to get down kind of to our last one. David, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for that right there. And this here is basically a micro jig. I'm going to tie this a little bit bigger. But tie these in different colors. Black works really well. The tan works really good. Those are my two best. In purple, I do vary the bead color. I use the red just so you can have some contrast here tonight. I am going to use another dubbing loop here with some UV chenille in here, but that Semper Fly straggle string works really, really good too. Things like that. And the beauty of this here is they not only can you tie them quickly, but they actually work and they catch fish. And yesterday, this particular pattern and this pattern were our two main trout producers. Mike, I hope you're doing all right there. Yeah, crappie, absolutely. We actually, the fish really reacted more to movement. You needed to do some kind of movement to the fly, and some jigging action on both those patterns really, excited that reaction from the trout for sure. So this is kind of what we're going to end up with here momentarily. So I like to tie these things down to about a size 14. Let me get that a little bit straighter in there. There we go, just like that.
Colin wants to know, he says, like the fly, have you tried it on carp?
I haven't fished any carp around here. Don't really know of many places we can go get carp right here in our area where we're at here in the mountains. But I'm sure it would, man. It's fishing, right?
And what's the name of the body material?
I'm
guessing the one you're tying now.
The one I'm going to tie right now is going to be some UV black ice dub. But yes, don't forget to share. Don't forget about the new product coming out. Big Mess. Hey, it's Big Mess approved, whatever it is, I'll tell you that. So if it's Big Mess approved, it's a good product. So be ready to pull the trigger on whatever that is on Thanksgiving Day. I know there's some ladies out there that tie flies. If your husbands don't, man, just sneak away to the computer. And if you want to do some, maybe a little treat yourself for the holidays for some shopping, whatever it is, pull the plug on it. And men, for something you need to add to your arsenal as far as fly tying, it could be something you're looking for right there, man. So, I don't know what it is. I'm looking forward like y'all are, man. I'm kind of in the, I don't know what it is yet. Yeah, another great resource for the Nor-vise is the info. Yeah, oh, absolutely, no doubt, absolutely. So I'm just going to take some Marabou. This is where you're in control, folks. And if we go over on time, that's fine. I ain't going nowhere. Just somebody update me on the football scores. We'll be okay. The Cowboys didn't lose today. That's all I know.
Because they didn't play.
They didn't play. That's right.
If they did, they would have lost.
Oh, jeez. My son said if the Cowboys would have played, they would have lost. All right, so I'm just going to come in here and capture that right quick. Come in here like that, and I'm going to make some tight wraps, really secure that down. And I'm going to reach in here with my Dr. Slick scissors and discard that. I'm going to get these butt ends here right quick. My wife's chuckling. I don't know why.
Travis said shocker.
Shocker what? The Cowboys?
Guys can't win.
Tell me about it, man. Can't stay healthy, brother.
They can't win without Dak.
So, all right, so we got the tail secured in. Now, here's the part if you want to get real fancy on this. If you wanted to add some flash back through here, you certainly can. That's entirely up to you. You are in control. But once again, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to make another dubbing loop right quick because I don't have any of the straggle string here. But I'm going to show you that you can do this and make some very durable stuff. Got that right there, and I'm just going to spin this up to the front here right quick and secure that so I can get it out of the way. I love them. Yeah, I've been a Cowboys fan ever since I was a wee little kid. Roger Staubach days, and it's, yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. All right, I just have my double loop spinner. There it is. There we go. Super. It looks like the folks that went up there to Steelhead Alleys, man, on the Steelhead trip had a great time. They could beat the... No, I actually think the Panthers are headed in the right direction. Coach Rule, had a chance to meet Coach Rule. He was here at our local college, Western Carolina University. Stand-up guy. I'm kind of bummed he's not in Dallas right now. I think he would be a much better fit than McCarthy for sure. But Coach Rule, I'm expecting good things out of the Panthers for sure on that one there too. So, there we go. So I'm just going to take some of this black. This is Hairline. It's black UV ice dub in here. And I'm just going to start sticking this in here in the dubbing loop that I've created. I'm just going to kind of get a big mass of that stuck in there. I'm not too worried. We're really just going to spin the heck out of this here in just a second. There we go. Got that pinch. Now I'm going to spin it. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to pick this out here once again.
Norvise wants to volunteer to give this a shot for a steelhead. He said it would be a killer steelhead fly in white drifted under an indicator.
Probably so, honestly, to be straight up with you. Those, I would tell you, let's see there. Steelhead Alley trip was great. Group A in 3 days of fishing landed 83 steelhead. Rocking, man. That's pretty impressive right there. That's some pretty good numbers. So I've got that captured. Going to come in here like this. Boom. Just like that. And I got to be honest with you. I will go on some of these with some high water, like out here in the Tuckasegee River. I will do some really big beads on these here. And I really want to get these things down low. And basically, you're almost jigging these like you would maybe some kind of lake, jig. You would be there for like that. Troy Aikman and Emmett Smith, absolutely. I got to throw Michael Irvin in there, the triplets, man. Jimmy Johnson, absolutely. So anyway, so you see the body. I'm just going to come in here like this. I'm just going to rough it up. I'm going to go to town on it for sure. I got to say, Tim was doing some tying demos there, him and Braden, and Tim left some of his soft tackle steelhead flies, and Baker Gamble, that's his last name, Baker Ward Gamble. He went out there on the tuck with his spay rod, and he landed trout on every one of the flies that Tim left there. I think he left like 4, so he took all of them. He caught a fish on every one of them. So there you go. So that's the thing about it. So right there you see I basically just took and I roughed this up right here as well. So it kind of just gets really rough in there, and that's kind of what we're after, is that kind of look like that. Do it the straggle string. I could have come forward a little bit more on that bead right there, of course, but that's not going to hurt it at all. But once again, that's another one of those flies that you'll find me guiding with out here this winter for sure. So just to recap, we've got a little Pheasant Tail, Jigged Pheasant Tail CDC with the Flashabou here. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Football here in Scotland, UK, as a whole is being played. No crowds. Yeah, I understand that for sure. No doubt about that. Football over there is quite a bit different, though. I know in my Navy days, just being over there, it's football is football for sure. My next fly was the IDK. It stood for I don't know. Sammy from Alabama kind of helped me name that. This is my number one, hands down, my number one guide fly, personally, no matter what. This is the number one color. I tie it with white legs and brown legs, flexi-floss, but this is the original number one, my hands down, and my best producing, I want you to listen, producing fly nymph that I tie and I guide with as far as a nymph. The third one right here is just this nice little black jigged here once again with Peacock Curl. We used the makeup brush for the tail. And once again, Peacock, a little bit of oval tinsel with some CDC and some ice dub into the CDC collar in that dubbing loop right there. Okay. Tie this down to 16s and 18s, but just start eliminating some of the materials just to make it work for your area. Our fourth fly nymph was the Rainbow Warrior without the wing case, and you can see I like it buggy as buggy can get right there. I fished the White River in Arkansas below the bull shows. Need to try the IDK. Yeah, absolutely. It's taking fish from here all the way out to California for sure, man. I appreciate that. I think it's been bootlegged. Somebody's telling me they seen it in a fly catalog now, but that's fine. So, I mean, that's just a compliment for sure. So you can see that right there. The Rainbow Warrior. The fifth one that I did here was the Mop Fly with the body right there with the ice dub body that I really rake it out quite a bit there for you. So there's that one. And then last but not least was our micro streamer right there. So there you go. Anybody has any questions? Slotted beads, who makes multiple colors? Calling pretty much everybody. I've got fulling mill beads. I got Hannock beads. Hairline's got, they got a lot of different beads. There's matted beads. There's speckled beads. So there's a lot of companies out there that make those. In the shop there, we carry the Hannock and the fulling mill both, for sure. And that's a good question there for sure. I think I went over a little bit, but we did have some internet issues with that, and I apologize, but that's the mountains of North Carolina for sure. Excellent patterns to search for trout, imitate so many bugs. Absolutely, no doubt about that. John, man, I appreciate you hanging in there with you, man. Missouri. Where about in Missouri are you at, John? Crappie baits, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. Thank you, yeah, Sean. Absolutely, thanks for listening. I fished some of the areas around the Ozarks there for sure, and just kind of curious where you're at, man. Those Ozark mountains are fantastic. Travis, appreciate the compliment. Wished it could have gone a little bit smoother. I do want to remind everybody next week, Tim from Nor-vise will be tying for you folks. I have no clue what he will be tying, but he'll be tying something, and his internet will probably go a little bit better than ours. Joplin, Missouri. Never been there. Holt Summit, Jefferson City. My dad, he worked building nuclear power plants, so he was in Missouri for a couple of years. So we lived in the Holt Summit area back in the 70s. So we go down to the Ozarks and fish quite a bit there. It's the closest thing to the mountains of North Carolina we could get. So Missouri's a pretty state. Show me state, as a matter of fact. Can't wait, but bust out the pokey stabby. Oh yeah, that's Miss Miller's special tool there, the pokey stabby thing. And we got the spinny thing right here for sure. So absolutely. Tim will be tying some steelhead nymphs. Well, cool. Well, if those are like the ones that he left here at the shop, I know they work here in North Carolina too on some of the trout. I sent him pictures of those trout that Baker had caught for sure. New item, the pokey. I don't know. Maybe that is a new item. Maybe that is it's the pokey stabby thing. Maybe we should start taking taking some guesses on that and see who gets the closest for the new item there. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad I got the chance to enlighten everybody around the world that there is a new exciting product coming to the Norvise family, and definitely them trying to keep honoring Norm Norlander's legacy. And that's definitely what this company does, and I'm proud to be a part of it right there. Yeah, man, and he was fishing high water there too, Tim. That water was up, so he was fishing as they are continuing to release water across a couple of the spillways here to pull some of the lakes down. So it worked out well, for sure, definitely. So appreciate all the likes and stuff there today. Travis, that's all I know, man. It's Big Mess approved. That's all I know, man. If it's Big Mess approved, it's legit. It's too legit to quit if it's Big Mess approved, man. All right, I think we're getting close here. Be sure to look for this on the YouTube channel coming out maybe Monday, Tuesday. The material list will be there. Tim will be tying next week. Be sure to mark your calendar, set your alarms for the new product on Thanksgiving Day. Eat lots of turkey. Go see your family. I don't care what they say. Go fishing. Go hunting. Live your life. Have fun. Ken, man, it's good to see you. Hope everything's going good in Tennessee, man. Appreciate your service in the military. All the veterans out there that just had Veterans Day. Thank you, all you folks. And be sure to check me out there on the Appalachian_flies on Instagram. And hit our fly shop up. It's tuckflyshop.com. And that's how you can reach out to me. And it's Shannon at tuckflyshop.com. Mike says tomorrow is National Fly Fishing Day. So pretty cool about that. In the winter, we announced it. Okay, so there's a winter chicken dinner coming out tomorrow, I guess, right there. So yeah, see that right there. So there we go. Awesome.
Hey, buddy, love your show. The last one you showed, is it good for Canadian pike?
Man, I'm sure, man. And I love fishing in Canada. It's a great story about me hunting in Canada with my father-in-law. It's a great, I wanted to cry. Let me just tell you that. And that's for another day and another dollar. But dude, I wanted to cry so bad because I basically worked 2 years to be able to harvest a bear with my bow up there. And you just have to know the story of what happened to me when I was in a tree stand. I didn't fall, but I just wanted to cry. Let me tell you that for sure. So, but the fishing in Canada was great. Caught a lot of northerns and loved catching those right there. So sounds like our next podcast. I may have to sneak that story in, Tim. Absolutely. And be sure to watch the videos, and I'll wait a few more seconds to see if there's any more questions that come in. If not, I appreciate the opportunity of Norvise allowing me to come into your homes. Sorry about the internet, but that's what we have here living in the mountains of North Carolina. The technology is not like it is in the cities for sure. So, Nick, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys are awesome. I'm just fortunate that I get to do what I get to do. I don't work. I just get to have fun. So, absolutely. Good deal. Just kind of waiting there. Bingo. We're looking pretty good. Bow River Browns. Man, could be, brother. Could be. No doubt. All right. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, Norvise. It was a blast. All right, man. You're welcome, Marvin. Appreciate you commenting in there. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Man, Mike, good seeing, hearing from you again, man. Appreciate it. Absolutely. So, with that being said, we're going to sign off here and be sure to catch next week, Tim, at 7 o'clock. Be there or be square. You know what I mean, Vern? Catch you on the next one.